Scream queen with a million smiles. Catching all the love from around the world. Whoa. Hey Shelly, won't you shine your light? Shine your light in the darkest times. You make it bright, bright. Life stream dreams, we're all by your side, by your side. Love you what you do, girl. You're one of a kind, one of a kind. Shelly, Shelly, you're our light stream star, star. Keep rocking your show, no matter where you are.
Hey, 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 Shelly from the block. Jersey girl with a mouth that won't stop, won't stop, no, no. Sassy, and I'm not afraid to show it. Gonna spill the tea, you better be ready for it. I speak my mind, no filter inside. Shelly's in the house, talking trash and truth, trash and truth. No sugar-coated grooves, melody, then get out the way, out the way. Jersey girl with something to lose. Shelly's in the house, time to break the rules. Break the rules to the city, I'm the queen of cool. You can handle the heat, then take the high. Shelly's in the house, drop the mic.
Hey, Shelly in the house tonight. Living it up, feeling so right. Yeah. New Jersey girl, she's got that style. Life stream queen with a million smiles. And she know the love from around the world. Hey Shelly, won't you shine your light? Time to make it right. Life stream queens with a wayside. You're one of a kind. Shelly, Shelly, you're a life stream star. Keep rocking the show no matter where you are. Yeah.
Hey, hey, happy Monday, everybody. It is 9:33 a.m. on the East Coast, and it is April 15th, 2024, a glorious Monday to start the week. Today should reach temperatures of high 70s in Jersey today, so I'm not looking forward to that because it'll hit high 70s today, and then Wednesday it's supposed to dip down into the low 50s, high 40s. Mother Nature is so schizophrenic. That bipolar bitch has no idea what she wants to do. Anyway, this is Shelly, your mouthy mama, talking trash and truth, and you have come to Coffee and Chaos with T3. That's me. This is just a Monday mashup. This was going to be as big a surprise to you guys as it was to me, or as big as a surprise to me as it is to you guys, because I literally went to bed going, I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about tomorrow. And then I woke up and I was like, oh, actually a lot of shit really happened over the weekend, so might as well just talk about that. Do a nice little mashup. See what we got looking forward to today. Right now, I'm looking forward to my chat. And we started the day off with Daisy Girl Williams. Good M, sweeties. Good M, baby. How are you? My Daisy Girl. I love my Daisy Girl. Hope you, Maddie, and the puppers are doing well. Hopefully you train those puppies up a little bit more. They're not driving you crazy. Speaking of puppies, we got Wolfram throwing links out like crazy. Somebody throw him a nice big pig's ear, would you? He wipes his paws, lopes in, and howls. Ow, baby. Ow. Howl at the moon. Every time, I don't like saying that because every time I say that, my brain goes, remember your mother, because every time my mother would bend over, her husband would say, full moon. And it was like, so thank you, mother, and your husband, Fredo. That's embedded in my head forever. Because we all know I don't forget things, only important things. All the trivial crap, that's permanent. That's all in there. I am a font of useless information. Seriously. But speaking of a font of information and a surprise that you never forget, Iris, hello, baby. What you doing? Haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome, welcome. Happy weekday. It's a good start to the week. Speaking of good starts, we have my Lady Awesome is in the house. Hope somebody throws a link up there for her. She says, Grand Risings, beautiful souls. Ditto from me. We're supposed to be 69 today. I bet, bitch. I bet. 69 all day. That sounds a little bit like a perfect day and a little bit like a lot of neck cramps. I'm just saying. That reminds me, Joe is continuing with his anti-gag motion. So we'll get into that. But you said 69 and I thought no gag. And that's what Joe's going for today, to get the gag taken off Trump. So sorry, that's where my brain went. Sparkles. Oh, thank you, Wolfie. God, you're always ahead of me. Good job. I have the best mods, guys. I really do. Y'all are always on top of everything. Iris is a little backwards today. She wanted to say bark at the moon. She said bakra at the moon. Oh, it sounds like you got Russian at it. Like bakra. I don't know why that struck me funny. We'll get Ozzy stuck in your head in your head instead. No, that's not gonna happen. Blue Moon is playing over and over, but it's replaced with Full Moon. You saw me standing alone. That's like, oh God. And then of course she'd laugh and couldn't stand back up. But yeah, that's my mother. It's my mother. Oh yeah, you're in trouble again. You're in trouble again, girl. What is wrong with you, Iris? We're gonna have to have a chat. Oh, I got in trouble with spelling on LC's chat already. Oh, lovely. I can't even imagine the words you came up with. They're always off by a degree, so it'll be 70 for everyone but you. That's what I say, 7. Mm-hmm. And for everyone but you, that's what I say, 70. Well, you could just be you with me. You ain't gonna get in trouble here. Well, I tried to chat with you, you busy lady. Girl, excuse me, do you have disappearing DMs? No, because there's no DMs from you. I had to whine to Wolfie. Aw. That's all right. Wolfie's he's a good listener. Like, he is. He's always here. And I'm like, oh, nobody's talking. He's like, I'm here. I'm like, damn, what? He like picked up on like psychic energy and shit. The last DM I got from you was like 2 weeks ago. I would check it, but I can't open Discord or else my mic goes all robot-y and wonky and it stays like that. Anyway, so we'll talk. I did ask T-Rex how you were doing, and he said, you were looking for me, and I told him when he talks to you to tell you, just hit me up, girl. So what did I want to talk about today? I wanted to get into, first of all, my subheading is good luck. Yeah, we're all counting on you because, let's face it. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Today is the Boston Marathon. Shelly, I was in AV's chat yesterday and saw Lady Autumn, aka Lady Awesome, and I looked closer and it was our ZD. Aww! I love that caught on because they really do need to call you Lady Awesome because you are. 2 weeks you've been busy, Miller. I know. Hey, T-Rex. Happy Monday. Lady Awesome. So thank you for the nickname. It's an awesome nickname for an awesome lady. There you go. You're quite welcome. That's my thing, y'all. Sometimes it offends people. It's weird. Like, it's a personal quirk. Usually when people come into my life that I like if I don't like you, I'll call you by your whole name, or if I'm mad at you. But if I like you, I usually give you a nickname, and it's usually a quirky kind of nickname. Come on, my grandfather, I used to call him Pop Up Cuckoo Bird. If he's not immune to a nickname, none of y'all are safe. Okay? None of you. Not one. I have given nicknames to pretty much everybody except my exes. It's weird. Like Billy was Billy and call him it. No, I'm sorry. Like sometimes I'd call him Big Red because of course he was a ginger, some bitch. But yeah, all right. So wait, so let's think about this. No, I did give them nicknames, but I didn't really call them by their nicknames. Like you guys I call by your nicknames. Um it's a personal thing for me. I don't know. It's funny because that's actually how I like fell in love with the character of Iron Man, of Tony Stark, actually, I should say. Because I'm sitting there watching Iron Man and I'm like, holy crap, I'm so like Tony Stark. Like, I don't give a shit. Two, I'm gonna outdo you like at every turn when it comes to like quipping. And I give everybody nicknames. And the nicknames are never like permanent. Like they will change based upon like who you are. That's how you know how I feel about you. Like if I call you Lady Awesome, that's how I feel about you. I don't do, like I'm just like, I don't know, standard nicknames like William B and Billy or stuff like that. Like I like to personalize. Pete Digits. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Wait a minute. Oh Lord. See, now we have Lady Awesome. She's on. See, you guys don't realize I watch chat and I monitor it like what kind of mood we in today. So when Lady Awesome comes in, it's really like generally just like smooth and chill and she's comforting and warm and I feel like cozy. And then you have like Iris come in and then add that to Lady Awesome and Lady Awesome gets a little spicier. Edith calms down a little bit. Then you add in Inya, and then we ratchet up a little bit. Like the energy goes up a little bit. We get a little spicier, a little bit. And then you throw in Mimsy for like a real big dose of like sweetness. And then you throw in Daisy for some like craziness. And then you throw in, here we go, Elephant. And I don't know what the hell's gonna happen in chat. If I get all of you together, oh, for the love of God, when I see all of you together, I'm like, oh, I'm screwed. I'm like, all my favorite girls are here. I mean, there you have like ZD, you have Flatty, you have Gutter. And I mean, the degeneracy it's like click. I can literally hear the meter going click, 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 like all the way up. It's hilarious. But you up my energy. You really do. Make all the jokes about that you want. Y'all get me like on a natural high. Let's put it that way. Grand Risings T-Rex said Grand Risings, my Freds. That's what he said. Yeah. And then he corrected Freds into friends and it still spelled it wrong. I mean, words are not your friend today, T-Rex. They're really not, but that's all right. I say that all the time. When I do that, I told you, when I do that and I just can't autocorrect correctly, I'm like, I don't want to play anymore. That was me on winning show last night. I could not get a sentence out. And I was like, I don't want to play anymore. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this game. Like, words are hard. I don't want to do this. But Lady Awesome. Wait. Iris, that is your freaking nickname because Lady Awesome is absolutely correct. Nobody says your name the way I do. You think it's easy to remember to roll my R like that? It's not. I say it just like that just for you because it's like more seductive and wild and exotic. And that's you. That's why I say it like that. Wolf from my wolfie vampire. Iris, you are very loved. I will spank you and you will like it. Stop it. And Lady Osa, oh, I know. She's 11, calls me out all the time. Of course. Of course. I love my ladies. I love my boys. They're like my men. I got yelled at one day because I was like, I went to work and I was like, oh, it's my boys. And Marty was all, I'm not a boy, I'm a man. I was like, oh, I was like, a real man wouldn't have to tell me that. And I just walked away. He was like, how is it even when I win the argument, I lose? I was like, because you're a loser. And he was like, bitch. Don't try to win a snark fest with me, especially when I'm in a good mood, because I'll just keep going. And I will run with it. I think you all know I will take something and run it into the ground. Girl, we can't have a whole ass drama show. Oh Lord, no, I don't want a drama show. Wolfkinder, here's more degeneracy coming in the door from the UK. Yay! Happy Monday, honey. How are you? Oh my God, I ain't seen Gigi in a minute. A whole hot minute. We were fighting over who'd have Story's attention. I mean, Yamaha might be by here in a little bit. He usually pops in for like the end of the stream. Roll them Mars, baby. Edison Shelley, I just woke up 2 minutes ago, got 3 hours of sleep. So today's going to be rough. Cut me a little slack, please. Why would I do that? It's no fun there. Cut you slack. What are you, a rope? Shut up. Iris, yeah, well. Iris, oh, poor sweets. I'm always easy on you. You know that until you ask for the other. Aww. A little S&M early in the morning. So sweet. But what was I talking about? I was talking about nicknames. All right. So now I'm curious. Like you're not in the, oh yeah, that's right. God damn it. I know I got confused, Wolfie. And I knew that too. All right. It's Monday. So don't cut me any slack. Give me all the shit you want. It's Monday. You can take it out on me. Not that you did. Anyway, before I start backpedaling and being a pussy about everything, just let me just dive into nicknames. Like, I call Wolfkinder and Wolfram Wolfie, but never usually in the same chat because I don't want to confuse them. So I try to keep it. I try to stick to your handles. I do. Because I'll confuse the shit out of myself. That's the worst part. I guess T-Rex is just always T-Rex or that it's difficult with handles because they're people like the people that I know like outside of just YouTube, like even though they're still, online, I know their names and I don't want to use their names because I'm always afraid I'm going to slip and say the wrong person's name. Like I know names of T-Rex, I know, nerd, I know expert and shizzy, I know like all of them that have handles. I know their names, but I never use them ever because I'm always afraid I'm going to use them at the wrong time or I'm going to slip and say it when I'm talking to them on a panel or whatever. So I don't like to do it. If you use your name, well, then you're that's whatever. You're, I can't speak. What the hell? Wait, maybe I need coffee because, oh, Lord. Then you're fair game. That's what I fucking wanted to say. God damn it. Anyway, if you use your name and your title or you use your name all the time, the way I do, you're fair game. I literally put up on the screen, Shelly T3. I start every show with this is Shelly, your mouthy mama. Anywhere I go, people know that's my freaking name. Do they make up other names for me? Of course. Freaking Rackets loves to call me Triple T or 3T instead of T3 because he knows it aggravates me. And of course, Daisy picks up on that. So she calls me Triple T. Some people call me TT and T. And I'm like, okay. Like, some just call me TNT. Most people call me T3 or Shelly on here. Nobody says the whole damn name. It's funny because You do. You call Iris. She's like, I always call you Shells. I'm like, yeah. And some people do. They call me Shells. They call me Shelly. They occasionally my whole name will come out. Somebody will say Michelle. Usually that's just Darth. And it's just Darth reminding me that he found my information by, like within 45 seconds. And I was like, congratulations to you. I give you enough information. You should be able to know who the fuck I am. I've literally said my address on stream. Like, I can't tell you how many times. So even if you want my phone number, go to Mr. Malloy's, go through all his lives, because during random lives over like 3 months time, I would give him one number. He was like, I really want your digits, Jelly. Give me your digits, Jelly. Give me your digits. And I was like, all right. He's like, really? Okay. And he was like, already. I said, I will give you one per show of my choosing, depending on how well you act. And he was like, oh, okay. And so let me tell y'all, that's a lot of numbers. He had to work for that. So 10 numbers, it took him 10 shows to get that. And he got it, and immediately he was like, all right, that's probably not even the number. And he texted me, and I was like, hi. He's like, oh, she gave me her real number. That was silly. I was like, okay, I don't care. Like, there's quite a few of you who have my real number. You have my address. You have my name. I don't hide. I just don't. I got nothing to hide. I got no enemies out there. I'm not afraid. And good luck getting through my door, because these apartments are built for like an invasion. So I'm good. But I'm gonna squirrel a lot today. I'm just warning you from now. Just warning you. That was I love Mr. Malloy. That's why it was so funny. But he was super sweet when I was in the hospital. He was just texted me, I'm praying for you and I hope you feel better. And it was really sweet. I mean, he can be like, oh, such a lovey. Yeah. Guys, did you feel the heat go up? The heat also comes from his wife. But Volstorm, hello, honey. How are you? You missed our 69 discussion, damn it. 69, perfect temperature and a lot of neck cramping. Which led to Joe doing the take the gag off Trump, because of course 69 made me think of no gagging, because I don't have that ability. Shells, I got a show. Love you, girl. DM me your digits so we can play catch up. All right, Iris. I will see you later. Have a fine, fine day. Full storm, damn it. Well, I just kind of redid the conversation in like Cliff Notes version. But don't worry, today might be a little bit spicy. We're talking about nicknames. Like I'll shorten people's names, like their handles or whatever. But I like to I like to personalize things when I like somebody. So like I won't say their whole name, but I did say that I avoid saying the names that I know normally, even in private conversations, because I don't want to slip on stream. Like I know so many creators' names, and it's fine, whatever. But I'm very out there with my name and my information, which made Captain No Nuts really funny when he was like, yeah, Melissa, I know your name's Melissa. I found out your name's Melissa. I was like, dipshit. No, it's not. I literally say my name during every stream. People call me Shelly on panels. Why would they call me that if my name was Melissa? You freaking Riri. Like, I can't. Of course it was Iris. Of course it was. I was the bitch to start that topic at Volstone because I'm bad. You are not bad. You're wonderful. Don't you forget it. But then I was thinking, like, all right, so T-Rex, I call him T-Rex. Expert, I have a whole host of names for, but I always call them to his face. So there you go. Let's see. Volstorm, I've called you Volley. I'm like, Vol, it's Vol. Mainly it's like the guy with the gorgeous wife. I call Libby that too. Actually, most of the male streamers, y'all have gorgeous wives. You do. I gotta appreciate the beauty that's there. I do. Uh yeah, I'm like that too. I won't use people's names in from online in real life. Yep, situations that pissed off a few people. I know. You've been called worse. I bet. I bet. Listen, I have some out there nicknames. Okay. There's Mitchell, Mitch, Mitch the bitch, because that's the natural rhyme. Mitch the psycho bitch, Mitch the voodoo bitch, Mitch the psycho voodoo bitch. That was a nice long one they were using for a long time. Shelly's, Shelly, Bubbles, um, Michelina, and my grandmother's Staregalina, which means little witch. Pop up. I'm trying to think. There's so many. So many. Sammy Radiator, the dude from Sammy's Radiators used to call me little Ita Bita B or little Jitta Bita B because that's what he called my grandfather. Called him Jitta B. But yeah, my exes, let's see. I mean, Billy, I sometimes referred to. I didn't call him Red, but if I was texting him, I'd say, "Hey, Red, what are you doing?" Because of course, red hair. Volsum, back me up. It's a thing. You always say you're never gonna go for the redhead until one is thrown in your lap, literally, and you're just like, I guess I'm going for the redhead. You can't avoid them no matter what you do. You might have a preference for blondes or a preference for brunettes, but somehow the redhead always works its way in there. And it's either feast or famine. You know, they say fight or flight, but no, it's feast or famine. Either you're in your glory or you're just like, oh, Jesus, I'm dying. Like, yeah, there is no middle ground with a redhead. Never, ever. And every time you think everything's going good, you're just like, oh, no. You get hit with like high emotion. You just hope it's a good kind. Because they're a ton of fun. Or good God, they make you wish like you were in a hole sucking your tongue, sucking your thumb, calling for your mother. Like, for you, it was always redheads. Yeah, no, I had way too many interactions with redheads in my family. I come from a lot of redheads. You would think Italian. Oh no, they're full Italian. Somebody screwed an Irishman somewhere, like, and I mean like leprechaun Irishman, because the red hair is fire. Like it is like so red. And it's just like, oh dear God. And their tempers, Lord. I think my cousin Sharon's the worst one. Oof. She was the epitome of the wild redheads. Good God, that girl was uncontrollable. She still is. She's older than me. She's like 15 years older than me. And she's still uncontrollable. But yeah, he was red or like big red or just asshole. I called him that a lot. And not in an affectionate way. Brett, my ex-husband, I called him Wolfie when I first met him because that was his whole like persona online. And then I met him and he wasn't so much as a wolf as a slug, but whatever. And just as slow and slimy and just I want to pour salt on him and watch him wither away and die. Anyway, they told you I'm going to squirrel a lot. Let's see. Connor's father, Eddie, I used to call him Peanut, and that was not for the reason you think. There was nothing wrong there, but yeah, I used to call him Peanut, and I don't really remember why. Probably because he called me Bubbles, and it pissed me off, and so I used to call him Peanut. Let's see, Miguel. I didn't give Katie's father a nickname ever other than Meg or Dipshit. Probably because everybody else gave him a nickname Astro, which I never quite understood. I mean, I understood the ass part, but the tro didn't seem to fit. But the main reason I didn't give him a nickname, one, I didn't like him. And two, wait one sec. Sorry about that. Two, he gave himself a nickname. Well, not himself, but a part of himself that he named Russell. And I was like, why? But because he wouldn't tell me, why at first. And then we were like, I was pregnant. I guess he figured I wasn't going anywhere and I already hated him. So why not tell me? He called it Russell because it was Russell the mighty muscle. You touch it and it expands. That's the way he used to say it. Now tell me, if somebody said that in front of you, wouldn't you want to punch them in the face? Because they really did. I'm not saying I really did want to punch him in the face. I really did punch him in the face. He said it and I literally punched him in the face. I was a violent little thing at 20. Oh, sorry. I literally would fight you just if you blinked in my direction. I'm trying to think of other exes. Tommy's always just been Tommy. Although my grandmother used to call him Tommy Tunes. He called himself Tommy the Tortoise because he said he was so slow. And I don't mean like, action packed. I mean mentally, he was fucking slow. But yeah, no, nicknames have always been my thing. Winning doesn't really have a nickname. I don't give Winning a nickname because I call him Winning. Or Win. All right, I call him Win. But usually he's Honey, Sweetie, Babe. Those little ones. I've heard of Russell the Love Muscle. Have you? Have you heard of Russell the Love Muscle? Because I tell you, there was like a time period where all these dudes down here were like, even if you didn't know anything about the person, for some reason you knew what they named their junk. Because they were all doing it. So everybody knew like everybody's like junk name. And my friend Spanky named his Stanley because he'd seen Ford Fairlane and he was like, Stanley, like the power drill. And I was like, whatever. I mean, they just get dumber as you go. It's just horrible. Absolute. But the worst part was they all started naming like their girls, their girlfriends' parts. And we were all like, don't do it. Don't, because you're not going to be happy. And Miguel named mine. And he's lucky he picked a good one. Because when I first met him, he was like one of the prerequisites for him to continue to date me. He had to watch Gone with the Wind. That was a must because the man was just uneducated. And I made him watch it. Then like months later, this whole, Russell, the mighty muscle bullshit came up. And they started naming their girlfriends' parts. And he named mine Scarlet. And he did it in front of like, I don't know, 20 of our closest friends. And you want to hear a room go dead silent? You could hear the creak of everybody's necks as the head slowly turned in my direction to see what I had to say on the matter. And you got to picture it. We're all like hanging out. Everybody's on various couches, chairs. We're smoking, they're smoking weed, whatever. And I walk in the house, I see this, and I'm like, oh, goody, we have guests. And I go and I sit on the couch. Somebody brought me a soda or something. I'm just sitting there chilling. And he walks in the room from the other side. Like, so he's across the room from me. And he's like, Mitch, you just missed it. We were just making up, nicknames. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I finally thought of yours. I was like, I already have like a dozen nicknames. He was like, no. He was like, nicknames for, your special lady bits. And I was like, my special. Okay. I was like, and what did you come up with, genius? And he was like, Scarlet. And that was it. Just pin drop moment. Like nobody spoke. Nobody was just as they like locked onto me. And I just looked at him and I was like, you got one chance. Why? I was like, and I swear to God, you better make it good. Cause I was ready to like launch myself off that couch and just claw his eyes out. He was like, from Gone with the Wind. He was like, cause he was like, she had a way with men and, even against their like, and I'm paraphrasing this part because his vocabulary wasn't as good, but I don't want to ghetto it up. Like, she was charismatic. She was charming. Like against their better judgment, they still like couldn't stop chasing her. And he was like, she was addictive. He was like, and she got an attitude. He was like, 1 minute she's nice, the next minute she's like, fuck you. I'm not, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. And, she'll just use you up for whatever she wants. And I was like, all right, that's enough. I was like, that's enough. He was like, well, I was like, as a nickname, it's not so bad. And he was like, I did something right. I was like, I wouldn't go that far. But yeah. Hey, 357 walks in just as I say the name for my private bits. That's great. Lady, awesome. I remember a friend of mine in the 7th grade who read Gone with the Wind often and used to be so confused. She read for fun the same story over and over. I loved Gone with the Wind. I've read there are stories I'll read over and over and over. Some of them are actually fan fiction, which some fan fiction is really, really, really good. I don't tend to go for like newer writers. I tend to go for like writers that have an established like base of stories behind them where they've really put into it. They're multi chapters. They're like 300,000 words or more. I like something involved that I could like sink my teeth into. Much like my men, something I could sink my teeth into. But yeah. Hey, 357. I hope you're having a good week, honey. I hope your week is off to a good start. But yeah, so that's what he named that. But I like nicknames. Like I call Inya whenever she comes in. I say Inya, out you, all around you. Iris, I have to say her name like that. Otherwise it don't feel right. Lady Autumn Sky is Lady Awesome. I have my Wolfies. I have Voli. I have Win. T-Rex, I usually just call him T, to be honest. You got Nerd, who's just Nerd. I know his name, but Nerd is his nickname. Or pain in my ass. Either one. Yeah, reading now I understand. In the 7th grade, I wasn't a reader growing up. Oh, girl, that books were all I had. Books, music, and movies. Which is why I have a head full of useless information. Because I read everything that, wasn't nailed down. Even if it was nailed down, I didn't care. I could not. My mother used to go insane because we'd go shopping every Saturday. And she would spend a ton of money in like Karen Curtains and Caldor and Kmart. I wanted to go to 2 places, Sam Goody and Walden Books. That was it. And they were literally right across from one another. I was like, just give me your credit card and I will just go buy things. You can go to your store. I'll go to mine. And I mean, I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Those were the years that we used to do those. But I would buy $100 worth of books. Like every time. And think nothing of it. And she had a fit once. And Daddy was like, what's the problem? And she was like, she spent $120. He was like, on what? And she was like, friggin' books. He was like, oh, all right. Like, because he knew that's what I loved. I used to buy all different kinds of books. I can't talk today. I would buy classical stories. I would buy joke books. I loved the celebrity dirty joke books. Oh my God. Cause I didn't really understand them, but I knew they were funny. They were horrible. What do you call the sweat between Dolly Parton's tits? Mountain Dew. how did Stevie Wonder's mother punish him as a child by leaving a plunger in the toilet? Like, oh, weird. Like, I knew they were funny. I just didn't know why. So, like, I would say them to my father, and he'd be sitting there going, "Oh God!" Like, you don't even know why you're laughing. Beat digits. I'm big on nicknames too, and it drives my mother-in-law nuts. So now I go out of my way to do it. Oh yeah. If I know it aggravates you, they'll never stop. They'll never stop. It's yeah, no. That's one of the things. If you let me know that something I do irritates you, thank you. Because you just gave me the best gift ever, because now I'm gonna do it all the freaking time. 357. I'm good, Shelly. I've been doing 2-a-day workouts. Nice. Getting my body back in Chippendale shape. Gotta make the ex-wife jealous. She just landed an old ugly sugar dad. She just landed an old ugly sugar daddy. You so petty. That's all right. You could be petty. We encourage you to be petty in this scenario. This does not reflect on you. It reflects on her. An old ugly sugar daddy. I love when people do that. My sister is so good at that, finding sugar daddies and sugar mamas. I don't know how she did it. I really don't. Because she don't have the looks anymore. She went and got plastic surgery. She looks like a fucking clown. With the weird face and the giant ass. Like she's got like additional ass and hips. And I'm like, bitch, not for nothing. But people diet to get rid of that shit, and you went and paid to have it literally installed. I don't say inserted, it's installed. That is like an installation of somebody else's backside and hips. The ass I can understand. The saddlebags, I can't understand it. I don't get it. Because they call them hips. I call them saddlebags because those fuckers are huge. When you sit down, if you take out the arms of the chair, then no. But then you have a problem. Like, I don't understand that. You got itty bitty shoulders, itty bitty waist, and then a carriage that is like 4 feet wide. I don't get it. How do you find pants that fit you? Do they spell special? Do they spell special? Do they sell special? See, my typos are in my speech, and I don't have autocorrect, unfortunately. Do they sell special jeans that fit over stick-like legs, a ginormous ass and hips, no stomach, and a tiny waist? Because if it's going over that gigantic ass of yours, how does it close at the waist and not like you could literally have people swimming in like the space between your jeans and your waistband, like your waistline. I mean, like, what is that? Because if you lay out jeans like that, it's a really weird friggin' silhouette. Let me tell you. Really weird. If they're going to be fitted, that's going to be a weird looking pair of pants. I'm just saying, it looks like somebody put a diaper in there. That's what they look like. They look like they're wearing diapers, but like 12 at once. It's double wide, ain't even it. 357. This bitch, I can't with my sister. I cannot. I did not believe it until I ran into her one day, and I was like, what happened to you? Like, because she was gorgeous. I don't mean like in a like, oh, she was pretty. No, this bitch was gorgeous. And now she looks like somebody melted her and put her back together with like silly putty and left fingerprints in certain areas and pushed too hard in certain areas. Like, them yoga jeans work some serious magic. No. The only thing that would make her look good is a funhouse mirror. No. And I love my sister. I mean, I can't stand her at the same breath, but that's because she's a raging, like, narcissistic, using, lying bitch. But I mean, that's just, my little quick take. But I don't see those genes working on her. That's not magic. You need a miracle. Fuck magic. Like the only thing that's gonna keep her like in there's no I have no words. You can't imagine. All right, you got to picture it in your head. Now my sister is like 5'9", 5'10". I mean, she's around there. She's tall. And she's got, like a ton of beautiful curly medium brown hair. She usually highlights it, or whatever, bleaches it, whatever. She's got this beautiful skin tone. She's half Puerto Rican, half what is it? Taino Indian from Puerto Rico. But I mean, that's like she's half Indian, half Native American blood, and half Puerto Rican. So she's got this golden tan skin that's always golden, always glowing. It's smooth. She's got beautiful, like light green, almost like with a lot of gold eyes. So they're almost like cat eyes. She's got a beautiful full mouth. Well, she had a beautiful full mouth, nice nose. Like the tilt of her eyes was a little exotic, but it was really like, just very attractive. Small little shoulders, long, lanky arms, a big store-bought chest. Like, I think she went from like nothing to like a C, and I think now she's got double D's. Yeah, she's a tall woman. She's intimidating. She's got a teeny tiny waist, and then you hit her hips. Now, my sister was always just not hourglass, but she was curvy. Like she was toned all over, really long legs. Gorgeous, but she had a nice little butt. We used to say she had the apple butt. Like it was just like it was a heart butt, but like upside down, but it was like an apple. It was nice. And flat stomach and slim hips. They were curvy, but slim. Now she's got this like clown tit thing going. She has like cheek implants. She did something weird to her eyes where she looks really, really, really Asian now. Her hair is like, I think half her hair like fell out from whatever the hell she's put into her body. She's got like her teeth are too white. Like if she smiles, she'll blind you. And it's just too much. But you get to her waist, and she's got this teeny tiny waist. And then her hips and ass flare out at like a 45-degree angle on each side. I mean, her ass is like flat back, boom! Like just like this shelf of an ass. It's just huge. I know. I'm talking about my sister Ellie. Just this gigantic ass. And if the side view wasn't enough, when you look at her from like a front angle, her hips, if her waist is about, I don't know, 12 to 16 inches across, right? Like I don't know what a normal size waist across is. Like I'm guessing it's like a foot and a half. If you go that far across, you have to add about 6 to 8 inches on each side for her hips. It just goes like I don't understand. An area for the beer. I mean, you fuck the beer. You could serve a full course meal on there with appetizers and a salad and a bread basket. Okay, like that shit is huge. And she moves, and I'm like, it defies gravity. I feel bad for her when they take those, like if they have implants in there and they have to take them out, her skin is going to like, she's going to be tripping over her ass because the skin's just going to reach the ground. Elasticity is only good for so many years. You hit a certain age. This bitch she's hitting 40 in June. I can't wait. Just a couple months, she's hitting 40. I already started sending her stuff from old age homes and like Depends samples and all that kind of shit because fuck her. But they did it to me. I did it to Christine. I'm doing it to my sister. Why not? And I hope she's out there listening because you look tragic. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. God. Um, I can't with her. My sister has done everything. She's been a stripper. She's been, let's just say, rentable, hourly. She's just done everything except like really work for anything in her life. She has a job, don't get me wrong, but it's not work. Like she got the job by doing certain favors and in return they pay her to go there and just sit. But now they're calling her a prophet. Oh yeah. Last time I saw her, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm with a preacher." She just had like the preacher's son's kid. She was pregnant by a preacher's son, and everybody was telling me, "No, she's pregnant by the preacher." And then she's like, "They said I'm a prophet, and I need to talk to people." I was like, "You're a what?" I was like, "The only prophet you ever were was with the F, not a PH," and she didn't get it. My mother got it, but yeah, no. So now she's all religious. I can't. And she told me that she doesn't really like associating with me because my lifestyle isn't conducive to her religious beliefs. Like it doesn't coincide. So she's like offended by my lifestyle. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm a clear minded, responsible adult my whole life. But okay, yeah. You don't like my lifestyle. I'm sorry. I don't fuck people for money. Oh, who said that? Was that me? Oh, that wasn't very Christian of me. Well, it kind of was because God said don't lie. So I ain't lying. Um, yeah, an area for the buffet. Oh, absolutely. 357. I don't know why women or men do facial surgery stuff. 9 times out of 10, y'all are beautiful. Sorry for the ugly 1 out of 10. You know what? Even if you're ugly, there's another ugly son bitch out there waiting for you. There was a comedian that said, I believe there is somebody for everybody. It was on the Queens of Comedy. And she said, you got buck teeth, find yourself somebody who don't want nothing more than a bitch who could bite an apple through a picket fence. Like there is somebody out there, shop to your specific needs and to your, income ability. You're not going to walk into like Saks Fifth Avenue and only have like $5 in your pocket. It's just, you ain't going to get much. She's rentable. Well, she is by the hour. I'm sure if she was in a hard time, she was rentable by the minute. Like the band in gym shorts, it only lasts so long. Yeah. The band that's in gym shorts or like, like the tube socks that you're just like, oh, I got to quit her because after like 2 months of washing, they're just like, yeah, no, my elastic melted. Leave me alone. I need to go against all my better judgment and start an OnlyFans. You want to start OnlyFans? I mean, we'll advertise it. I mean, come on here and advertise. I don't care. But if you let us know, we're all going to be like, yep, there you'll get every single one of us. Because curiosity killed the cat. I would rather satiate my curiosity and spend $5 than to save the $5. I mean, I'm not going to throw tons of money at you, but I would go just to see it, or I'd send somebody else probably. I'd be like, when do you go and make sure you like record it because I want to see what's in there. See, we love you, but we'll still cheat you. I ain't paying for an OnlyFans. Get out of here. If the girls were drunk, my ugly ass had a shot. Fire away. Stop, P digits. Mm-mm. No, if I was drunk, I just went for the girls. I stayed away from men if I was drunk. Because I can get a little bit aggressive. I don't know. I don't know how we got on this subject for an hour, but this was about nicknames. Anyway, moving on. So now you know the nickname for my lady bits, whatever. Which made it funny because we were in the car one day and I was playing a cassette tape because that's what we had at the time. I didn't have a CD player in my car because it went on fire. but I had like the boombox thing, and I had this suitcase full of like random cassette tapes, and there was like Kenny Rogers' greatest hits, and Scarlet Fever was on there. And that came onto the radio, and he went, oh, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch. It was a very Dean Winchester moment. I was just like, son of a bitch. But he was like, oh my God, do you realize what this song is about? I was like, yeah. It's great. And he was like, oh my God, I have scarlet fever. I was like, don't you go telling anybody that my bits gave you scarlet fever, because they're not going to understand the context. He was just like, oh, yeah, that could be bad. He was like, could be good for me though. I was like, yeah, no. I was like, trust me. I was like, if you tell anybody that I have like a fever there because you're an asshole, I'm going to be like, you know what? Why don't you stick your thermometer in and find out? He was like, yeah, all right, I won't say anything. I was like, yeah, shut you up real quick, motherfucker. But yeah, no, I stayed away from guys when I was drunk. But so that was nicknames. I wanted to kind of go over a couple things that are happening today. I don't know what happened with the Boston Marathon. They were supposed to be showing it. But today is Boston Marathon Day. I was watching the stream. They said it ended 7 seconds ago. There's no way that's over already. Nobody's running 26 miles in an hour. Really? Then it's not really a marathon. I don't think so. But I watched the wheelchair race this morning. I'll tell you something, guys. That's impressive. But today kicks off the 128th Boston Marathon. And it's 30,000 runners for 26.2 miles. And did you know that they give more than $50 million away to charity through this? I didn't know that. I never really paid attention. I only paid attention, at like the day of the bombing. If y'all remember in 2013, there was a Boston bombing, a Boston Marathon bombing. I believe that's the year it was. But this year they're on heightened alert. They are worried that it would be a what do they call it? A soft target attack. High body count, low effort. They don't really have to do much. So if you're in the New York or Boston areas and you see an increased police presence or even a military presence, please do not be alarmed because of the Iran-Israeli conflict this weekend, which we'll get into. They have a heightened security risk. They have a heightened terror watch list. So, or status, I should say. The spectators are ready. It's so weird because, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, oh, they're running the marathon. Like, they're actually, like, managing. I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know what happened to the stream. That's going to aggravate me. The year of the Boston dry run of shutting people in their home. Was it? Fun news of the day, Florida pizza worker arrested for assault by dough. Oh, Lord. Imagine getting arrested for pizza dough. Battery. God bless Florida. That kind of shit only happens in Florida. It really does. He got arrested for assaulting somebody with pizza dough. All right, then I want them to start getting arrested for just making bad pizza. In other words, take all the Dominoes and just lock them up. Because that ain't real pizza. That pizza sauce, bleh. Ugh, bleh. It's horrible. Ugh. Absolutely horrible. I come from the land of, like really, really good pizza. We have Benny Tadino's pizza here. You could look it up. They are known all over. We had that dude that tests out pizzas come here and he loved it. But the slices are gigantic. Like you, like slices are like a foot and a half long. Like they're huge. You need two plates. They serve them on two plates that are like attached to one another. But yeah, oh my god, it's so good, so good. Aw, Wolfram sniffing around to secure the area. You're so cute. Look at you. I appreciate you guys. P Digits, mom and pop pizza joints are the best. Oh, absolutely. The hole in the wall restaurants around here are the ones that we all go to. Like the ones that have like the fancy front and they have like, if you have a tablecloth, we ain't coming in there. Like, it's just, nope. Shelly, what brand of canned tomatoes do you use? Let's see. You got the, what is it? Bella Rossi? Or Tutta Rossi? I forget which one is. There's the yellow one with the arched writing. I think that's the Tutti, whatever. There's the blue one that's Bell something. Hunt, and if I'm really, really strapped, I will get the store brand and then just doctor it. Because canned tomatoes, it really doesn't matter as long as you cook them correctly. Because they're not. I'm never going to use like it as is. I don't use anything as is. Like nothing. Not gravy. Not brown gravy. Not like anything. What if the tablecloth is plastic and red and white checkered? You know the food's going to be good in that place. Yeah, but not. That's no, because around here they don't. They just wipe off the tables. If there's a tablecloth here, it means you're not really that busy. So that's what that tells. If it's like a really nice restaurant, yeah. But and I mean nice in my price range. But no, like the best food is definitely going to be on the cheaper side with a place that does not have tablecloths. If it has tablecloths, then they don't have high traffic because those take extra time to clean and you don't have that kind of time when you're in a rush. We tried that at the pizzeria that I worked at, and no, like it was just too much. It was like fuck the tablecloths. They all went they got rolled up and got thrown out. That was it. Mm-mm. Besides, plastic, red and white, that belongs at a picnic, not a pizzeria. That's just shit you see in the movies. Maybe out west, they like out Midwest or wherever. Anything outside of Hoboken to me is west. But I mean, literally. But no, those tablecloths. No, I don't. That's not an indication of that for me. Not here. I mean, I can only go on what I see here. How the hell do we get on fucking tablecloths and pizza? How did we get on that? Oh, because somebody got arrested for pizza dough. Thank you, 357. See, you derailed me. Look at you. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Got her. Good M, baby. How you doing? Sexy thing. Sexy thing. All right. I actually did write a list, so I'm going to try this one more time before I just say fucking go back to bed. My whole catchphrase for this whole weekend, best line spoken all weekend, everything Biden touches turns to shit. I love that Trump said that. They're all calling him out for it too. They're like, Trump said. I'm like, he sure did. Sure did. Because it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Oh, that's what I was telling you guys about the nicknames. God damn it. This weekend I was messing around with my Discord soundboard, right? Because I was like, all right, everybody's doing all these soundboards. Winning was like, it's easy, it's fine, just do it. I was like, because he knows I don't like to do that. He was like, no, that you don't have to like go looking for like through things. He was like, just pull up a clip, you hit the thing, and it's 1, 2, 3. And it really was easy. I created like, I don't know, like 12 of them. Mostly it's like Nick saying fuck you and stop it and hypocrisy from his thing. And I got to get fight. I have it. I just didn't click it. I don't know why I didn't click it. But I realized I had a couple clips of streams where people said my name for the first time. And I have one of Benny Johnson where he goes talking trash and through Talking Trash and Truths. T3. That's a great Abby. And I was just like, and I clipped it. And so I have Benny Johnson saying my name, well, happy. So that makes me happy. And I have one of Monty saying talking trash and truths. That's not too bad. She's talking trash and truths. That's not too bad. And the thing is, if you don't know it's Monty, like if you're not in the know, you're just not gonna know. You're gonna go, who the fuck is Monty? Who's saying this? But I think they're so cute. I was so proud of them. But yeah, like that tickled winning that I had Monty saying my name like that because it did. And the thing is, like the file name, I even named it Monty Makes Me Giggle. Because it does. It made me giggle. I gotta find one of Nick because I have one and it was, I think, my toast. I asked him to toast winning for his birthday. And he went on and he gave me like 4 nicknames in a row. I was like, God damn it, Nick. That one night that he was so drunk that he was like sliding down his chair, I sent him a super chat. And I was like, how you doing there? Like, you making me worried or something like that. And he sits up and he was like, oh, Shelly. And I was like, oh, God damn it. I was like, Nick, if they didn't know my name, you're drunk enough that you said my name. Like, what is wrong with you? There's another hint. If I say your name, when I usually have a nickname for you, you fucked. Like, you fucked up. You did. If I say your name instead of like honey or like, whatever nickname I've given you, I'm mad. I'm mad or I'm done with you for the day. So that just means either back up because I'm about to explode and you don't want none of this, or it means that I'm just exasperated and you hurt me and I don't want to talk to you. So go fuck yourself. So me using your name, not a good thing. Jessica Reloaded. I was getting to you. I haven't yet hit my friggin' list, but you literally at the top of the list because I wanted to tell them to check out your birthday stream. Jessica turned the big 3-1. That's so awesome, though. I mean, come on. Can you imagine 10 years ago you were able to like drink legally for the first time? 10 whole years. Time flies, especially when you're having fun. That's a misnomer because it flies just as much when you're miserable. So don't take that into account. Hey, Buffer, how you doing? Yeah, the day's been all right. I'm in a lot of pain today, and yesterday. And we'll get to that. Oh, they really shouldn't. After you left, it was boring, and I ended it abruptly. Oh no, nah, check it out. Give her a nice sub. Give her a like. We like to support each other on here. Thank you, Wolfie, for throwing her link up there. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, it was fun. Unfortunately, it was right after my 3.5 hour stream with winning, and I was so tired. So like, I felt bad because I was like, I feel like I'm not bringing like me because I just did not. I just didn't have it in me, and we literally like we left, said goodnight to winning, and I fell the fuck out. I didn't even know where I was going. Like I was trying to like call him and instead I wound up being in like watch party room and I was like, where am I? And where is he? And I was like, oh crap. Like I was so tired. But like I said, yesterday was a very big pain day for me. Like it was bad. And today is just as bad. Everything is swollen and hurts. And every time I move, it's like, ow. And I couldn't figure it out. And I said to winning, I was like, I'm worried because like my whole body is killing me. I'm cramping up and like, and he was like, what is it? And I don't know. I was like, I guess it's just a flare up because I was beginning to have a flare up. And then this morning I realized it. I'm going to get such shit for this later, but y'all ever like exercise after you haven't exercised after a really long time? And then like you're so like into the exercise that you overdo it and you exercise more than you should and longer than you should. And then the next day and the next 2 days, you can't move a goddamn muscle and you're feeling muscles that you never knew you had. Well, that's what I did. Now, mind you, we're going to call it exercise. And we're going to say I exercised 4 or 5 times, which was left me in a really good but sleepy mood on Saturday night. And then Sunday I woke up and couldn't move. So there you go. But it's like my leg, it's my inner thighs, my ass, and my stomach muscles. And my arm, my right arm. Especially my right hand. Anyway, but so don't exercise too much, people, if you haven't exercised in a while. Fucking worth it though. So good. But anyway, we're just gonna call it exercise and leave it at that. But yeah, no. So I was so tired last night, honey. I even told him, I was like, are we doing the show? Because I kind of don't wanna. I'm meaning our show, like our documentary thing. And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. I have to go play some music to like hype myself up because I'm going to fall asleep otherwise. So, do you want me to remove it? No, you leave her thing up there. This is my channel. Leave it. Leave it. See? She said, I would love that, Wolfie, but I feel like Mama Shelly would yell at me. You damn right I'm going to yell at you. There will be no taking down of links. Thank you very much. Puffer, that was me 3 days ago. No exercise, no benefit. That was some bullshit. Oh, no. No benefit. I mean, if you're doing the exercise, you better get the benefit. I benefited like 4 or 5 times, at least. I just woke up in that kind of mood. Well, I didn't wake up in that mood Saturday night. That was after winning show. No correlation or causation. I'm just saying it just happened to be, coincidental. Sure it was. But no, we had fun on Saturday night show. Anyway, so moving on. And yes, don't take that link down. I did want to start out. It says start out with YouTube and Jessica's shout out. What does it say? Get hyped for something. I have no idea what I wrote. But it says Jessica shout out, Jessica's birthday show. And I don't know what else it says. This is what happens when I write as soon as I wake up and my hands are shaking. I'm right-handed. And when I tell you that I have no power at all right now in my right hand, I really don't. I was confusing. My body felt like that. I haven't been having fun or exercising. Aw. When I say exercise, this is not like exercise like where you're up and sweating. It's more like when you're, reclining and sweating. That's the kind of exercise, which is why my legs are on fire. But whatever. And my stomach muscles. I mean, there were things contracting that I haven't contracted in months. Whatever. I was sick. Okay. And then Saturday night I felt better. And then by Sunday morning I felt much better. And then I felt like that. But that's the way it goes. I remember. Yeah, you picked up on it. You're happy for it. I mean, I was by myself, so don't be that happy. It was just me and the Energizer Bunny. That was it. And my imagination. No, that's a lie. It was Pornhub. But yeah. Whatever. Like, I wouldn't be me if I kept something like that to myself. I just wouldn't. I share. Like I said last night with Expert, I'm a giver. I'm gonna take his line and turn it into a really perverted version. Shit, batteries are a great side pick. Yep, they don't ask me for shit. I don't have to make them a sandwich. I just throw them back in the drawer. That's it. Just, little soap and water and throw it away. Like throw it back in the drawer until next time. And it's not far. The drawer is like right next to me. I make sure that it's, accessible just in case. You never know. But yeah, no, YouTube. That's what I was gonna say. I told you I'm all over. I should never stream today, but I didn't want to like skip it because I didn't do a stream on Friday and I felt bad. I just couldn't on Friday. I couldn't. I was not in that headspace. Last week was a very low week for me. The weekend wasn't so hot either, but it was all right. Um I went to check my YouTube studio yesterday. And I really wasn't going to do this stream today because I was so like dejected over it. YouTube managed from when I woke up yesterday to maybe 2 hours later to take away 100 views on the last 4 streams I did. So that I was anywhere from 10 to 20 hits below where I ended my stream on each one. One of them, they actually took away 40 views that I legit like closed the show with 30 of those views, then got like 10 more. And they took away 40 of them. And then I lost 2 subs in a row. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why? Why do I do this? Like, no matter how much work you put into it, they just kick you right in the fucking face. And I don't understand why. Like, why did they take those views away? So I was really like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't, and Winning's got a whole bunch of, ideas for me to do stuff. And they're amazing ideas. And I was getting excited about them. And, I was looking into them and I was researching, seeing how I could make them my own. And, he's telling me, oh, you need to advertise more. So I did. I put the promos out. Not like I don't promo my show. I never do that. Wolfram promotes my show. Winning when he's awake promotes my show. I don't do that. I just show up. I figure, I'm here the same time every time. I don't really put that out there. And I promised him that I would. All right. I didn't promise. I said I would think about it. And I did tell him it just doesn't occur to me to do that. Because I don't know, it feels weird to be into self-promotion and stuff like that. Like, why would I promote something when I don't even know if the show's going to be any good? I don't know if I'm good at this shit. Like, I have you guys. Yeah, you're my friends. It's not like, you're showing up because you just can't wait to hear what I have to say. You show up to bullshit with me. I mean, that's the fun part of, showing up here. That's why I show up, to have a conversation with you guys. There's nobody out there who's going to click into here and be like, oh, I have to listen to this. She's riveting. But you're here because you know me. You either noticed me somewhere else, or you like what I talk about, or you just like the fact that I could get up here and talk nonstop for 6 hours and you have noise to listen to in the background. That's, reliable. I'm not going to shut up or make you look at something. Most of the time. I usually warn you when I'm going to show you something. But it's like, what am I doing? Like, I know people who have channels who their channels are always lagging and they never progressed. And they were like, I don't get it. I'm amazing at this. And it's like, first of all, you're not. I mean, I'm not saying you're bad, but amazing, man, it's a stretch. I mean, I use amazing sparingly when it comes to like actual praise, but they were bitching and moaning and they're, oh, I gotta get it out there. Blah, blah, blah. Their channels just weren't going anywhere ever. Like years in, and they barely broke 1,000 because, they couldn't get the subs on their own. Like everybody else got subs from them. But it made them think in their head that they were better than they were. And I used to like watch the shows and be like, this is such crap. And I didn't say that, obviously, but I also didn't encourage in the end. But like I say that about my own show, because I go to most shows and I'm like, this is interesting. This is funny, whatever. Some of them I go just because, somebody's brand new starting out and they really need the encouragement. And I'm just like, yeah, go. I'm like, yeah, they're a little cheerleader over there. Um, I want to be there for everybody that like all the content creators I know. But I don't see like why would you come here? I don't get it. Why would you come here? So I'm pretty much like I'm just so discouraged. And YouTube taking those views hit me so hard. Jessica, that's exactly who I was talking about. Get off my wavelength, girl. You're not supposed to be in my head. YouTube is asshole. Yeah. It is weird, Puffer. It is weird. Wolfkinder, I have to listen to you because you are riveting. Girl, stop. You come here because you like to laugh and I make you laugh. And I'm glad I do. I mean, I'm not saying you guys shouldn't come here. You come here, we hang out. We hang out and I talk. I don't get up here and like lecture usually. Like it's very rare when I get to actually script something out. But I come here just to talk to you guys. Half the time it's just to unload everything that's in my head and have you tell me like, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Like what's going on in here? Somebody help me piece the puzzle pieces together. And you guys do that for me. You do. You do give me energy. You galvanize me to keep going. It is very encouraging to have you guys around. But I do doubt it a lot. I doubt myself a lot. I had like I said, I had to psych myself up last night to do the show where I was like, because I was so like down, and then my mother called me to tell me her cat died, and I was like, why? I just said don't give me any bad news. I have a show in literally 20 minutes. And she was like, oh, Mookie died. And then she's telling me about, days of suffering. I was like, what is wrong with you? I just said, don't I was so mad. I was so mad. So then I was mad and I was crying. I was like, ugh. And I was like, Winnie, I'll be back. Give me like 10 minutes. I just need 10 minutes. And I played, I started off with Walking on Sunshine. And that didn't do it. Usually that does it, but I was just too like, so I had to play Love Shack. I had to sing the whole thing. Because just listening to it doesn't do it. I have to sing the whole thing. And my son came out and just looked at me and I was like, what? And he was like, you were so loud when you sing that song. I was like, bad? He was like, no, you sang it good. He was like, but it was so loud. I was like, well, it has to be, because my tin roof rusted. And he was like, what? I was like, that's what I yelled. And he was like, I didn't understand that part. I said, don't worry about it. It wasn't until I got the lyrics in my hand that I knew what the fuck she said. Wolfie, is Mo in the chat? I haven't been able to see her, and I think she was in my chat last night. I think I'm going to mod her on my channel so I see her. Oh, there you go. T3 just mentioned her, so the link. There you go. There y'all go. Mo in the deep end. You mean your son was a little butthole for once? Proud of him. I mean, he's not a little asshole anymore. He's a giant asshole. And he towers over me. Ridiculous how friggin' tall and like wide he is. Good God. He's built like a big ass linebacker. He's just huge. And I look at him and I'm like, I can still knock you out. Like, I don't think I can. Well, a frying pan does a lot, but even the odds a little bit. But yeah, no. So I had to like psych myself up for my own show with winning. And then we finished and he's like, that's what took us so long because I was having anxiety because Jessica had a full panel going. Now, mind you, this is how my anxiety works. These are all people I know. She had Expert. She had Shizzy. She had Kaiser. She had Volstorm. She had Super V. She had T-Rex. These are all people that are not threatening to me. And yet I got such anxiety that I was starting to get a panic attack. And I told him, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And he was like, what? I was like, I can't. Like, I don't want to go. And he was like, I thought you said, like, because I was like, oh, come on, let's go over to And he was like, all right. And then I was like, I don't want to go. 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 And he was just like, all right, calm down. He was like, all right, we'll just wait. I was like, well, we'll wait, see if anybody leaves. It's a lot of people. It's okay. Like being winning. And he was like, all right, so we'll just wait. We won't go. Like, I was like, you go. He was like, no. I was like, no, it's not a good look. Like, you got to go. Like, one of us has to go. And then, like, a couple people logged off, and I was like, oh, I was like, okay. I was like, they're down to like 6 or 7. I was like, and a lot of them are avatars. Okay. I was like, okay. And I'm like trying to like psych myself up. And I was like, all right, we can go. He was like, all right, we'll go now. So like he went in first and then I followed quietly after. But I had a massive like burst of anxiety. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And that's the way I get sometimes before I start my own show. I will sit here and stare at that live button and hyperventilate. And then once I hit the live button, I'm fine. I don't know what happens. It just, something always hits me really hard right before I go live, which is why I usually don't do spontaneous live streams. I just don't do it because I don't react well to them. But if I have something to say, I'll do them. Or if I feel bad because I missed a couple, or I was going to do a pop-up stream on the weekend, but then I was like, I don't feel like streaming. 10 minutes later, when he's like, oh, you're coming on Winning Saturday Night with me. I was like, I guess I'm streaming after all. I was like, okay. We had a really good time, though. I had a feeling, I had a feeling he was going to say, oh, come on. Because he had slept in and he missed like the whole attack, the beginning of the attack. And I was actually listening to Alex Jones' show on X at the time. He was on Spaces and he was going to do an interview with Elon. And I've been looking forward to this for like 2-3 days. So I was not going to miss that. And I'm listening and I'm waiting and they're talking about whatever. And all of a sudden this guy was like, oh my God, breaking news. Iran has sent 50 drones. And so I got to hear it from the minute it broke and onward. So I heard like people in Lebanon, like the reporter that they had stationed in Lebanon, chimed in. They had all these different people talking at once. But I got to see it go from like 50 drones to, okay, now there's, missiles inside, like mixed in with the drones. Now we got like 70 to 100 drones to more than 100 drones. So I got like the first initial unveiling of it all, like the unpacking of it. And I got to watch it in real time. And I was saying, on his show, this is unreal. Like I'm sitting here going, oh my God, is this like a historic moment? Is this like, the last pull of the pin before they throw the grenade? And it was weird. Like, but I was excited to talk about it. I got on his show and I talked about that. And I talked about, how one of the first things that they mentioned was, Bitcoin's stock price went down. Like their value plummeted. And I'm like, whatever. Like, this is what they're concerned about. I'm worried about people dying and they're worried about like Bitcoin. Just shows you where different people's heads are at. But they were talking about, it being a psyop. Alex kept saying, this is a psyop. This isn't a real attack. He was like, why would they attack with 4 to 5 hours of warning with 50 drones? 50 drones is nothing. Like they're not even putting like hard ammo in there. Like there's no like real weapons in there. And I mean, he wasn't wrong. And they were going, no, like that's just the first way. And he was like, I don't think so. I think it's a psyop. And I agreed with him, even at the time. And I said it Saturday night. I said, I feel like it was a test. That's all they were doing. They were throwing a whole bunch of rice on the balloon to see what would pop it. And it's really hard to catch like individual pieces of rice. So that's one way to do it. You try to overwhelm the system. They wanted to see how much the system could handle. They also wanted to make it a grand thing, saying, okay, we have to retaliate, but we're going to retaliate in a way that's non-escalating or whatever, but we're going to show you a show of force and see what happens. And we're going to test your defenses. We're going to look for, inconsistencies, weaknesses, whatever we can exploit. And then what everybody else isn't talking about is they got everybody to come out of the woodwork and put their cards on the table face up. So they know exactly who is on their side. They know exactly what tone they're going to take in their defense or in offense against them. They know, who the enemies are. So they know how to plan now. They don't care that they didn't do any, like literal physical damage to anything. I mean, they took out an airbase or they, like hit an airbase over there. But the wealth of information that they garnered from that one act, you can't put a price on that. They can literally just start from the ground up with the information they have now. And they can reach out and network better than before because now they can be assured of their allegiances because people came out publicly, countries came out publicly and said, okay, like US, if you do this, I'm in it. If you put your nose in, I'm on their side. We found out exactly who stands where. Like an actual stance, no flip-flopping or anything like that. No, oh, well, I guess theoretically, it wasn't theoretical anymore. Like they got to see exactly, who was on their side and who wasn't. That kind of information is worth its weight in gold. It really is. So I feel like people are overlooking that. They're like, oh, they're just trying to scare you. Yeah, it's about scare tactics, sure. Because what are we looking at when we're looking at that? Anybody else talking about P. Diddy anymore and that whole thing unfolding? It was all about P. Diddy. Then they tried to do the bridge thing. Then the bridge thing went away. That lasted 2 days, 3 days? Except for Redacted, who keeps saying it's a cyber attack. And I'm sure they'll double down on that yet again, which aggravates me. But all of this, everything going on, they're just like, hey, I'm juggling. Let's see what they're looking at. Then they tried making a big thing out of the Ohio barge, Ohio River, 26 barges are unloosed on the Ohio River. Okay, so they're making people think that these are ships. They're not ships. They're just barges. They don't have engines. They're not manned by anything. They're literally pulled along by another boat. They're usually tied together. They got loose. It happens. And apparently, according to the people that live there, it happens a lot. So they tried to make something out of that. They couldn't. This morning, what did I wake up to? What headlines? Wait, let me look. The FBI and U.S. Coast Guard are now leading a federal criminal investigation into the, quote, deadly Baltimore bridge collapse. Now, first of all, that is over 2-3 weeks old? That one? That just came out this morning. They didn't say boo about it. Now, all of a sudden, the FBI and Coast Guard are investigating. Can I tell you, they've been investigating since it started. Why bring it up now? Because you want us to look somewhere else. Because, oh my God, people were saying cyber attack. We can use that. We can bring that back up and try to link it to the whole thing over the weekend with the Iran, Israel conflict. We could do all that because they're trying to scare up some fear. They're trying to make things, terror, 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 terror. Whatever. That was not a cyber attack. Okay. Let's stop listening to that one reporter whose husband works for defense contracting. Don't listen to her because who's going to benefit from people getting scared and wanting to, fight back? Well, her husband will. So no conflict of interest there at all. And the fact that she's like, oh, an insider. Oh, I have an insider. Yeah, it's your husband. He's been real deep inside. Talk about deep state. I'm sorry, I tangented. FYI, all the things that your body feels with anxiety are the same exact things your body feels when you're excited. take a breath, relax, drop your shoulders, and tell yourself you're excited. I never tried that. I'm going to have to try that. Huh. Wolfram said exactly. Thank you, Wolfie. Wolfkinder. I mean, to be specific. And then Wolfram says exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're doing. They're like, oh, let me throw this headline out. Let me say this. Let me say that. Whatever. Oh, we have increased military presence because of Trump. No, it's not because of Trump. You have increased military and police presence in New York. Yes, because Trump is there, but because you want people to think that it's, an enhanced terror threat. Because that's what they do. They've done that to us ever since 9/11. Like, I remember just randomly seeing military people like walking around, like stationed in the park or whatever. And I'm looking like, are you kidding? They had them outside our subway system for like months. And I was like, why? Why are like, nobody's going to do anything here. Like, they did what they were going to do, but they wanted to keep it in our brains, which is weird to me because, the site was on fire for months. I mean, there was always smoke rising from ground zero. So it's not like we were going to forget. We could still smell it. You walk down the street and there were abandoned cars with notes on the visor saying, owner worked in World Trade Center. Please be patient. Family being notified. So, I mean, that was constant reminder. It was like skeletons just laying in the street. That's what the cars represented to us, because for all of us, anything that had a boot on it, that meant that they didn't make it out. And there was a lot of them. And their family members would come and, the tow truck guys didn't charge them for anything, but they put the boot on so nobody could steal the car. And then you just had to notify them, and show them proof. And they just take it off for free. But it was eerie because there were tons of cars that were just never getting moved for weeks and weeks. And it was just like, oh my God. Like, and you're like, so many people in my neighborhood at the time. I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like, how does something like this happen? And then you forget because life keeps going. You move on. I moved to Kansas. But one of the things that we watched last night, we watched the Bankers Wars on Winning Show last night. So like Saturday night, I wish he'd show up to Rumble and click on his show for Saturday night. It was really good. We discussed all that. We watched Trump's rally. It was phenomenal. He did a whole bunch of clips afterwards, which were really funny. It was a really lively show Saturday night. It was really good. And then last night we watched on old school documentary Sundays, the Bankers War. And it taught me a lot. There was a lot there that I didn't understand before. And like I said, I'm very naive, guys. You guys just don't seem to understand how politically naive I am. I just voted the way they told me to vote my whole life, and that was it. Because I had enough to worry about in my own life. I wasn't going to worry about, whoever the hell was in office. Like, I had everyday stuff I needed to deal with. I didn't have extra energy for that shit. So I just put my head in the sand and I voted the way they told me to, and that was that. But last night he showed that documentary and they were saying that it's all backed by these bankers. Like going back to the War of 1812. Like, we were a new country and everything. We won the American Revolution, but the War of 1812 was because we didn't want the Federal Reserve Bank. We didn't want to give them the power. We didn't want to extend their contract. And they were like, no. Like, they wanted to control the money for the United States and across the board, basically. The interactions with other countries, whatever. And England was like, no. Like, they didn't want us to do that. And it was a whole thing. I'm explaining it very badly. But anyway, they were the cause for the War of 1812. And for every war after that. The Civil War was pushed by bankers. assassinations. Lincoln was assassinated. Kennedy was assassinated. Every time, like, they tried to kill Andrew Jackson because the main banks wanted their power. The private banks wanted their power, and they weren't going to get it. And every time we like took the power away or threatened to, somebody died or there was a war. And like World War II was not World War One was because Germany was just um they were just doing too well or whatever. Like they didn't like that Germany had power, so the powers that be that we allied with went to war with them, including us. And then Germany was devastated. And then you get somebody like Hitler, because Germany was like pretty much just crippled in World War One. And so he took it hard. Yeah, he wanted to build them back up. He went through and did what he did. And we were told that we were getting into, the war with the Allies because genocide was wrong. That was the reason, because Hitler was a genocidal maniac and he was going to try to enslave the world. We got in because Japan, attacked us. I know that, but we were in it from the beginning. We just didn't declare it. We didn't do a mass movement, but we sent them money. We sent England money. We sent them tanks. We sent them ammo, whatever. And we sent them troops. We just sent them in smaller doses. But it wasn't about genocide. Apparently our government didn't give a crap about the concentration camps. They didn't give a shit. It was about the economy. It was about making money. The bankers wanted money. War made them money. They wanted to take away from Germany. They wanted to cripple Germany. They were doing too well outside of their system. So yeah, they wanted to take them down. Yeah, you take out the competition. So that fueled that. What are we doing now? Are we really fighting over like two separate cultures that are going head to head and genocide and, humanitarian efforts and stuff like that? Or are we fighting for oil? Are we fighting to take the oil or to destroy the oil? Like, what are we doing? Sometimes we say it's weapons of mass destruction, and there's none to be found. We go to war with, people that didn't even do anything to us. We said they did. The president said they did. And then you find out 15 years later, they had nothing to do with it. They just wanted their oil. It was very eye-opening. I really recommend it. And the guy that did it, he was so conversational. He was exactly like the oligarch's book, the Control Oligarchs book that I loved, because it was so conversational and so easy. And the way he laid it out was so simple. It was just little bite size here, and just a continuous feeding of small morsels of information that link together so perfectly. I highly recommend it. And then we watched Airplane, which was like, really fun. So many jokes that would not fly today if they were introduced today. Right down to June Cleaver being like, the jive mama. Cut me some slack, Jack. Now we have Biden and he's like, here you go. Yeah, I learned early in the army, believe only half of what you hear and only then if you see it come true. Mm-hmm. Yep. Nothing to see over there. Look at this again. Yep. Now we have Biden and he's like, here you go. The fact that he came out like he was Mr. Big Dick and just said, don't. Like, really? Like, dude, you're not 50 Cent. You ain't built like him. You're not intimidating looking. You don't got like that mean General Patton face. You're an old man with ice cream and poopy in his pants that came out and said, don't, and then walked away. Wolfkinder. Oh, you can see it on Rumble. Those are all on Rumble. We do the kickoff show on YouTube, but you can see the whole thing on Rumble. Trust me, it's funny. It's so funny, especially with like the running commentary. Like the first 10 minutes, I was like in a mood. I have highs and lows, guys. It comes and goes, whatever. And then I gave into the movie and I was just laughing. But Yeah. Most you could ask anybody. Castro's the one who usually points it out. It's like he listens to it in the background. He listens to the movie, and it's just like a whole movie with just my laugh through like the whole thing. So, and occasionally I yell out boobies, and they just like they all come running back to the screen. They go, "Oh, look, boobies!" And then they go back to doing whatever they were doing. I am the booby alert. That's what I do. Oh, here we go. Helicopter hovering. I just love when they do that. It was funny because I was talking Saturday night to Winning before the show. It was after the attack and before the show. And all of a sudden I was like, whoa. And he was like, wow. I was like, you didn't hear that? And you heard the fighter jets just right over my apartment building. I was like, oh, God damn it. But they do I can't talk. I apologize so much for the stuttering today because I'm just broken. I'm just broken. They do the flight pattern over here when they're monitoring the coastline. So now it's like 4 or 5 times a day I hear them at least since Saturday night. Yesterday I felt like they were always going, but they'll do it. They'll do routines like this is part of their routine when they're on high alert. So it's just like it reminds me I have so much like latent PTSD from 9/11 that I still react in certain ways to different sounds. Like hearing the jets go over, hearing the military jets fly over never makes me feel good. Like just hearing them, I'm automatically my whole body tenses up. But like if I hear a low flying plane, every single time I will stop and like either if I can't see it, I'll just listen to see if it's getting closer or if it passes by. But if I can see it, I will stand stock still and just watch it. I'll track the whole thing until it's out of sight because it makes me nervous. And it's not like it's definitely 9/11 related because I watched the second plane hit that building. Because I was standing there looking at the fire from the first one going, no, there's no way that's just like that's internal. Something had to hit that. They were like, I think I saw like a Cessna or something. I was like, a little Cessna. It's gonna be like a mosquito on a windshield. Like that's not gonna cause that. And as we were talking about it, the second plane came and it was that I did not just see that. Like everybody just froze. So I have that like that tension that just grips me for a couple seconds when I hear or see a low flying plane. Airplane is great. Sorry, I missed that. Perks of Zero. Boobies? I mean, there were boobies, and I actually missed a shot of the boobies yesterday. And chat called me out. Man, y'all were brutal. Shelly missed the boobies. Shelly missed the boobies. Even Winning was like, you missed the boobies. I can't believe you. I was like, yeah, shut up. Shut up. And then Mimsy was like, boobies. I was like, oh, it's good to know that, I got backup. To quote that one guy, it's the economy, stupid. Whatever. Yep. Everything's the economy because that's all they care about is money. Money is all that matters to these people. That's why rich people stay rich because they just keep thinking about getting richer. They don't say, oh, I'm rich. I can stop now. No, they're like, gimme. Because I never want to not be rich. Because even as rich as they are, they know that shit doesn't, mean anything. Somebody somewhere is higher than they are and can take it. That's the problem with like modern money. Like at least before they couldn't like just do away with your money. I guess they could burn you or usually they just killed you. But now they press a button and your money is inaccessible to you. That's a level of control nobody should have. It's like your parents denying you your allowance because you had an attitude all week. And you're like, I worked for that money. I don't care. I don't like your attitude. I'm not giving it to you. And there ain't shit all you can do about it except what? Make noise and argue? Go ahead. Words don't do shit. That's what they say. Words don't have any power. If they have no power, why are you trying to take them all away? YouTube, President Biden, all these people who are out there like willing to censor everybody. You say that words don't have the power to, like change anything. You have to take action. If you're so worried, well, if you're not worried about the words, why do you want to suppress everybody's? Why are you worried about the words we say? Let us say whatever we want. It means nothing, right? You don't want us to take action. Words are all you pretty much left us with, and now you're trying to take that too. You're even going after thought. I don't understand that. My whole body rebels against restriction of any kind. So telling me I can't say certain words really, really gets to me. But anyway, so Sunday night's show was about that. I'm doing a very poor job today. I'm literally all over. This is the worst that I think I've ever been. I feel like I just started streaming or whatever. But what was not bad was winning show on Saturday night and Sunday night. We did a very good job. I did both of them with him. And he was very spicy and very conversational, and he was my winning. And I think you guys would enjoy that. So if you can, check those out, give him a follow. He's about to cross a landmark on Rumble. So if you can follow him on there, I would very much appreciate it. He's growing on Twitter, and very proud of him. He puts the work in and he's doing it. It's just, he's fighting YouTube at every step of the way. So I've pretty much just given up on myself. This is me and this is what I'm doing. And I got to accept my life. Today Trump is in New York. I believe they're doing the jury selection today. Today's his first day in the hush money trial in New York, which is a bullshit case, but whatever. And Joe is still fired up doing his ungag Trump order. So proud of Joe Neerman. If you are not a member, please follow Good Logic. If somebody could throw that link up there. And there's another link I would love for you to get in time for Viva Fry. Viva breaks down Joe's order to ungag Trump and why, and he breaks it down in like 107 points, I think, why the judge is wrong and why it's illegal for him to put this gag order on Trump. So we are very, very proud of Joe Neerman. Give Good Logic a follow and a share or whatever. He's on Rumble. He's on Locals. He's on YouTube. He's all over the place. Catch him out on Twitter. I think it's called The Following. He always says this is not a cult. Yeah, this is not a cult, but yet I'm digger number 50. Okay? Because we have the Jew tunnels. That's what he calls them. We all got digger numbers that went into Locals. So I'm digger number 50. But we're not a cult. No, not at all. The thing about Joe's cult is there's no leaders, there's no followers, it's just a cult. But it's the best kind of cult. It's a cult that's not a cult. But yeah, check him out. We're very proud of him. And his subs are getting up there. We would love to get him over 100,000. So if you could share his stuff out, I'd appreciate it. I already said the Boston Marathon. It's the 128th. They were worried about the runners because of the high heat, because it's abnormally warm for this time of year. So it might have some type of impact on them. And they're worried about the stress, the potential stress on the runners, worrying about terror threats. Honestly, I don't think they're worried about terror threats. I think they're worried about just finishing the goddamn race. Don't put extra bullshit on them. These are people who are very motivated to get this done. Just let them. Just leave them alone. Let them. They're saying that it's a soft target, so we're on high alert and there's increased presence. I mean, they already hit the marathon once. To do it again would kind of be overkill because it's bad enough that's always going to have that nervous feeling from the past. That's enough. That's enough terror for them. I think if they're going to hit anything, they're going to go way bigger than that. I don't know. I don't trust the whole, oh, we're under attack kind of thing. Because, I mean, if you were that worried, why would you let like millions of illegals with criminal histories into our country to run around untrackable, untraceable, and apparently unjailable? Because you just let them in, you gave them a bunch of money, you give them money every month. I can't find them, but you find a way to give them money every month, right? I got to fight for money every month, and I've put into the system my whole life, and I'm a citizen, a legal USA born citizen, and I can't get shit out of my country. But if you come from prison in Venezuela, come on over. We got $1,300 a month for food, and we'll give you, money, and we'll let you squat in people's houses. We'll let you kill cops and everything else, and no repercussions whatsoever. There's no consequences for you illegals. I'm not going to call them whatever the hell you people want me to call them, like the government. I'm not going to do that. They're illegals. They're illegal criminals. They're not all criminals. They are criminals because they committed a crime the minute they crossed that border illegally. Do they not understand that? Is vocabulary not a thing? They like to change the meaning of words. Do they not understand established meanings? Illegal, criminal, guilty of committing or alleged to have committed a crime. The minute they entered this country, they broke the law, which means they committed a crime, which makes them criminals. And they're illegal criminals because they're illegal aliens and they're a criminal element. Plus, most of them were actual criminals where they came from, too. So I don't see why they have such a problem with descriptive vocabulary. It's accurate and quite useful, I think. So I'm just going to keep calling them that. But if you're so worried about like terror threats and internal attacks, and we've left ourselves open to, the terrorists from the Middle East, it's not the Middle East terrorists here that I'm worried about. And I know YouTube's going to have a fit over my vocabulary. I don't care. Really don't care. I'm over it. They're going to take my views when I'm good, then fuck it. I'm going to say what I want to say. They're so worried about these kinds of threats within. Why'd you let all these illegals in? Why? All these young, fit, military age, violent, easily corruptible because you're giving them money and a place to live where they're not going to get persecuted, and you're not holding them accountable because you're not putting them in jail. They're killing girls down in Georgia and just walking away like it's nothing. Why? If you're going to let them in, then why worry about the terrorists? Because it seems like you let in millions that will do us harm. Tens of millions that'll do us harm at this rate. But, the ones that snuck in here or whatever with an agenda, I don't even know how many there are. I really don't. But it's nowhere near the amount of illegals that we have. You're worried about the small group, but you're not worried about the gigantic group that you welcomed? Really? I don't get it. Unless you're lying to us, which of course you are. Of course you are. I never thought I'd be this anti-establishment. I never thought I'd be this down on my own government because I was raised, if you go against the government, even if you don't agree with them, if you voice your opinion, you're unpatriotic. That's how I grew up. And it was a terrible feeling to feel like I was betraying my country by saying the truth. But it took me a long time to realize I am more of a patriot because I am loyal to my country, which is the people. I am loyal to American people. I am not loyal to an American governmental body. or a governmental party. Yeah. They don't realize they are replaceable. There's a lot more of us than them. They hold the power, sure, but they held the power before. We've been under a ruling class before. We've been under, tyrannical dictatorship, and monarchy and stuff like that. And then we weren't. Vivek always says this is our 1776 moment. We are in the 1776 movement. And he's right. He's absolutely right. Because we are being led around and lied to, and we are being taxed, and we're having every single item, the price just skyrockets, and it's not sustainable. We can't keep up. They're bankrupting people. They're impoverishing an entire nation. I mean, they fought back because of a tax on tea, a stamp act. They fought back for all these different reasons because they were being taxed, no taxation without representation. You're taxing us and not giving us a chance to say, no, we don't agree with that. You're literally dictating what we get to do with our money. That was why we broke away. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. But what do they do now? They do so much worse, and we're just taking it. Where is that, that desire for liberty, that desire for personal freedom, that desire to be able to thrive, without being stepped on and abused and used and drained of all your resources? And our government has no respect for us. They have no care for us. They legitimately hate us, I think. Where's our fight? And I'm not talking violence. I'm talking where are the thought people, the idea people that have all these strategies and everything? When can we galvanize like groups together so that we have a louder voice, so that we're more united? No, they just keep throwing more shit out so that we get more divided. This Iran-Israel thing, it's just to sow more division. That's all it is. What do they rely on? They rely on religion, race, and sexuality to divide us. What have become the main staples of news broadcast, media, jargon? It's all about religion, politics, but religion, sexuality, and what was the other one? It just flew right out of my head. Anyway, those three things, like those are the main ones. Oh, race. There we go. See, that's how I try not to even think about race because I think it's ridiculous. The whole, these people are all racist. Nobody ever talks about how other nationalities and races are so racist against white people. Like, are we not human? Do we not count? Because I could tell you, you could hate my race all you want for slavery and whatever. I wasn't there. My family comes from Italy. My skin, I am porcelain white. I mean, I have like white, creamy skin, and I'm as Italian as you get. All my people are olive skin. They're dark, comparatively speaking. But they come from Italy. They didn't have slaves. They were slaves. My great grandmother came here because somebody stole the shoes off her feet while she was asleep as a kid. Like, she couldn't take it anymore. She was like, I gotta go. Like, I can't. My other great grandmother came here because she couldn't afford a shawl for her head in order to go to church. Yeah, and she was shamed into asking to borrow one from a rich relative who had, extra. So don't go hating on me for yo white privilege. I have what? I tell you, no, I do not. I do not. I didn't grow up with that. Like my whole family, we had a solid work ethic. Anything I have, I earned. And I earned with my blood, sweat, and tears. I have been working since I'm 9. Because that's how my family raised me. You work hard. You work for every cent you have. And you never be selfish about it. You give as much as you can. But yet I'm the horrible person. I wasn't going around like I was trying to better myself, educate myself, learn skills that I could use in life, skills that would help me and help others. I wasn't sitting around bitching and moaning about who owed me what. Nobody owed me shit. If I wanted something in life, I had to go out and get it. Wolfkinder, I react that way to screeching tires. I brace for the sound of crunching metal. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been there. And if you've ever been like T-boned by another car, oh God, you just like, oh, like, yeah, you do. You brace for impact. Jessica Reloaded. Instagram tried to censor me this morning for sharing someone else's post, raising awareness to the Assyrian priest being ambushed and stabbed during the eulogy by some animal of a man in Australia. That was horrible. That Sydney stabbing. Apparently there was like 16 people that got stabbed, if I remember my numbers correctly, 13 of which were women. And it's funny because I saw a post. You said that man was pure evil. He was smiling when the men held him down for the cops. I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. Because it was ridiculous. If I remember the post that I read correctly, out of the 16 people, 13 were women. Which I don't know if it's because he was at a mall and I'm going to be stereotypical and be like, mostly women go to malls, or if he was aiming for the majority of women. But they were saying it's interesting that if someone goes out and stabs a bunch of gay men or gay women, they're homophobic. If they, stab trans people, 13 out of 16 people are trans, they label them transphobic. If they're 13 out of 16 people are black, they label them racist. But if they're 13 women out of 16 people, they don't say that they're sexist or misogynistic or whatever. They say they're mentally ill. So it's basically like we are now the lowest of the low on the ladder. Like we don't even get a classification. It's just like, okay, everybody else, it's because you don't like that group. It's because you don't like that group. It's because you don't like that group. With us, it's, oh, they're just sick. Really? You don't think there's a little bit more there? You don't, like, you want to focus on like the hatred toward other people, but when it comes to women, oh, but that's okay. It's just, oh, they were just mentally ill. It's not the specificity of it being all females or whatever, or majority females. It's just, oh, they're just like everybody else. They're just crazy. It was weird to me. These people that go out there, I don't understand. I don't. If you have an intention of getting up and harming other people and you can't overcome that temptation, you can't control the impulse, that, and it's going to end badly for you, why don't you just start with you? Not to put too fine a point on it, but don't hurt anybody else. Just if that's what you feel the need to do, take one for the team before you go out and do it. Do everybody a favor. I saw an interview with the mall stabber's parents. They couldn't get help for his mental illness. They were distraught and kept apologizing. I mean, it's all well and good, but I mean, it's Australia, so I don't know what their mental health capabilities are over there. I don't know what their health system is like in any way, shape, or form, so I can't really speak on it. But at some point, you got to be like, all right, I have to call the authorities or something because this kid is going to hurt somebody. You got to wonder why they don't do that. I mean, I know it's hard to admit when your kid has an issue. Trust me, I've been there. But if you know that they're dangerous, you got to do something. If you can't get them mental help, I don't believe that you can't get mental help for somebody. There's got to be a way. That's what crisis exists for. Like, I'm pretty sure Australia has an emergency, like health system or whatever for mental illness. They have to. Otherwise, how would they ever like help anybody who's a danger to society? They were distraught and kept apologizing. Yeah, I don't know that I believe in all these distraught people. Everybody's distraught after the fact. Where were you when it was building up to this? Because this kind of stuff doesn't just come out of the blue. There's signs. Either you didn't want to see it, or you didn't want to address it, or you're just neglectful and didn't see any of it. In which case, shame on you. But then they're regretful. Yeah, well, I get you're regretful because you got caught being a shitty parent. And I'm not saying this case specifically, but a lot of the times that's what it turns out to be. Like, oh, I was busy, so you didn't monitor your kid like at all? I don't watch every little thing that my kids do. I mean, they're grown. they're big. But I'm very attuned to like their moods, their mood swings. I monitor that shit because I want to make sure if there's going to be a problem, I got to get ahead of it. I don't want anything to happen to them. I don't want them to do anything to anybody else. I don't want sadness all around. I don't want any more drama. I hate it. I just want peace. I want peace all the time. So I make sure, like, all right, you've been cranky the last like 2 days. You want to talk to me? What's going on? Like, talk to me. And I'll push until I get them to like either blow up at me or like explain shit to me. But I'm aware that something is not the way it was. Something doesn't feel right. And I call them on it. I want to know, what are these parents doing that they just don't know? How do you not know that your kid has been planning for like months to go out and, hurt people? I'm not saying this specific case. I'm talking in general. How do you not realize that they have a problem? Either you're too self-involved or you're just, you're in self-denial, like you're in denial and can't face it. Either way, you got to take some of the blame. If my kids went and did something, I would feel tremendous blame. I would hold myself accountable. But I don't know that I'd be like, oh my God, I didn't see it coming, or I'm so sorry I missed it. No. I'm not saying that's what they said. Again, like I didn't see it, but it's just a lot of the times the parents are like, you just don't understand. They're wonderful. They couldn't have been that wonderful. Like, think highly of your children, but see them as they are. Do the world a favor. Because if you don't see them as they are, you can't correct them. And then you're not making the best adult you can make. You're building a wonderful human here. You want to make them as wonderful as possible. Pay attention. Correct mistakes before they become, habits and personality traits. Before they adopt it as a lifestyle. You see all this whole generation. They're not good at neglect. Like the things they do for attention are mind-boggling. But that's what they're doing it for. They're doing it because they don't feel seen, I think. Or maybe they got too much of that permissive attention as little ones. And then they grew up and stopped getting attention. So now I need more attention. And I'm going to get it any way I can. In ya, out ya, all around ya. Good M. It's harder to get help than people know. It's a big thing to hear. Reach out. Okay, try it. especially here when in Florida, I've gone to the ER with massive auditory hallucinations and on the brink, and they sent me home. Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be certain agencies or certain hospitals, whatever, that don't take it as seriously, and they usually regret it later. But and that's where you find out a lot when these like mass attacks go out or whatever. They're like, oh well, a month ago they tried to get help and they were turned away. That's our health system. I know, and it is easy to say it and not get it, but I've had to reach out many times for kids that were in crisis. And I could honestly say, yeah, it was difficult getting them help, but I didn't give up. Even with my own kids, it was difficult. With me, it took me like 4 months to get a therapist. And I was like, do you people realize how many times I've like cracked in those 4 months? And then all they did was give me friggin' medicine. But yeah, it is. Local police just unalived a man having a mental health crisis. The wife called 911 to get help. 3 weeks later, there's no answer from police. Yeah. It's horrible. It really is horrible because they don't take us seriously. They don't take issues seriously, or they mistreat them. Or you have, oh, well, just call a cop for some help. And then the cop overreacts. That was my main concern when Connor went to the school he went to last, was the overreaction, because he eloped. He ran out of the building. Big kid. Did the counselor go after him or school security? No, they called the cops to go after him. And I flipped the fuck out. Because I was like, he's a giant of a kid. All he's got to do is look aggressive and they will shoot him dead. I did not put in all that work and love this child as much for you to rip him out of my life because you're an asshole. Because somebody got trigger happy. Somebody got nervous and assumed something because you very stupidly called the police. And oh my God, I threw a fit. And that's when homeschooling was like the only option. I didn't care if he didn't learn a goddamn thing after. I was like, no, I would rather him be dumb and alive than smart and dead. And that was the environment I was putting him in. It was unacceptable. Negative attention is at least attention, sadly. I mean, that's what they go for. A lot of people do that. That's why there's so much drama out there. That's so much created, manufactured drama, because people need attention and they're not getting positive attention. We're not in a positive mind state, like a mindset anymore. You walk out your door, you can feel the negativity in the air. It wasn't like that. Even 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. Before we all got put into lockdown, isolation flipped some kind of switch on the world where everybody decided, oh my God, I'm isolated. Now we've done this for winters where you're locked inside, you can't really do anything, but the world still went on around you. You can hear things, you could see people through the window. You went into the state where everything was deserted, and it had such a heavy Armageddon kind of oppressive feel to it that it fundamentally changed people. And now we have a whole generation growing up that never socialized in the first 3 to 5 years of their life. That's going to leave a mark. Mark my words, in 10 years, if we're all still here and functioning, there's going to be a massive spike in these types of attacks because these kids don't know how to play well with others. They spent the first years of their life with their parents' undivided attention. And it's going to make a difference because they had no attention from other kids. So they have a higher, opinion of themselves. They think their opinion matters above an adult because, everybody listened to me before. They think they're right. They won't listen to anybody else. They don't have connections. They don't know how to socialize. They don't know how to go out and meet people. They meet people online. They get like they like go gallivanting from here and there and everywhere. And they get like charged up over different subjects and different topics, and they become, quote unquote activists. There's going to be a huge increase in that, because that's the only way they know how to interact is on a social platform, on an online platform. They do not know how to connect face to face. You think any of these kids know how to small talk? Nope. You think they know how to be polite and like mask their emotions? Nope. They're all knee-jerk reactions and offended outrage and just privilege and obligate, like this weird entitlement that I can't fathom. I just can't. I want to be called this, so the world has to bend to my whim. No, that's not the way the world works. And now the government's enabling them and telling them, oh, yes, no, we're worried about your feelings. I ain't worried about nobody's feelings. I want to pay my rent. That's what's important. Guess what? You could hurt my feelings all day. As long as I got a roof over my head, I'm going to be all right. But would I rather have hurt feelings and live well? Or would I rather, live on the street, unable to like even tie my shoes because it's not a skill that I learned, and have my fifis protected in a safe space? Like, stop. There's no resiliency. There's nothing but weakness. And we're just making them weaker. God, that was a hell of a rant. I could tell you hundreds of stories trying to get help from my father and have him blank off and have him blank off us. Having a fish. I was so confused, Wolfkinder. And having officials ask me what I'm going to get out of the situation. Oh, so fucking rude. That is so rude. God, so many of these places really do suck. And I know I've been there. I told you. Nothing like going to a police station and saying that you've been, very violently assaulted while you're standing there bleeding, and just have them turn you away and tell you, you can't say you were, sexually assaulted just because you regret basically being a whore. Like, oh, okay. I didn't realize like my broken tooth was me being a whore, but okay. I guess that just popped in, just rough sex, right? In Yamura's, I've been there. Then get some bubblehead 24-year-old younglet. While they're sweet, they can't help me. They only seem to judge me. I had that therapist. I did. I had that therapist who sat there with her little clipboard, and she's, her legs are crossed and her hands are crossed in front of her. So she's completely closed off to me. That's the first body language I'm reading. She's not relaxed. She's more reclined in judgment. And then I get that simpering little smile where she's like, it wasn't a really good decision on your part, was it? And I'm like, you're not here to judge me, bitch. I will literally get up and beat your ass. Stop it. Like, I walked out on one therapist. She said, I forget what she said to me, but it was the look on her face that, oh, yeah, well, you reap what you sow, basically. Like, looking at me like I was stupid for have gone through like so much trauma. Like it was my fault. And I was like, you make me feel violent. I gotta go. And I got up and I went downstairs and I went to the front desk and I was like, get me a new therapist because I'll kill that one. I was like, and I'm not lying. Like, she's making me extremely violent. She's extremely judgmental and I don't like her. They were like, okay, no problem. Like, all right. Just saying, I'm not feeling it. I'm fragile and you're giving me somebody who's going to like trigger me. It's not smart. But there's not a lot out there. There's really not. When that pandemic hit, they lost so many workers. So many. Because they couldn't take it. They were overwhelmed with the caseloads. The therapist that I had, Amy, I love Amy, and I haven't talked to her in months. But she literally was like, can I call you from home?" She was like, "Can we do this after like normal hours?" She was like, "Cause they have me running all over." And like, she literally didn't have time to go to the bathroom most days. And it was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll wait." And she would call me from her house at night and she'd be like, "All right, so let's talk. What's going on?" And, and it was great. But I mean, I like her. I miss her a little bit. I don't know what happened. They stopped calling me to do my therapy. I'm like, all right, I know my insurance didn't run out or anything. So it's like, what the hell? By the way, today is tax filing day. Make sure your tax is in. It's the deadline or the extension deadline, as somebody liked to point out last night. And you becoming a therapist wasn't a good decision on your part. Who? Who? I'm so confused. Yeah. You becoming who became a therapist? Who are you talking to, Wolfkinder? I'm so confused. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm telling you, this is not going to be a long stream because my brain, like I said, I'm in a lot of pain. And it's the muscular pain from me having fun. But that's on top of the flare up that was coming because my left arm is swollen as could be, and I didn't use that arm. I'm just saying, I'm a righty. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I really don't. I'm just waiting for things to unfold. There go the Jets now. See? That was loud. So they were going real low. Keep an eye on the news, guys, and let me know if there's any breaking news. Just for my own benefit. I'm not going to talk about it or stream it. I just want to know. I really need to go back to sleep. I need to take some leave and lay down and go to sleep because my brain is not working. Today mashup was Monday's fuck up. That's what today's stream should have been called. And of course, this is the one that I promoted. Whatever. It is what it is. I was responding to the therapist telling you that you didn't make good decisions. Oh, thank you. Gives T2 a Snickers. Who's T2? The Terminator's here? Where's he at? T2. Okay. I'm just talking trash now. Talking trivial is what I'm talking. So I guess T2 would be it. My husband stopped dead in his tracks and watched Airplane last night. Aww. That makes me happy. T3. I just figured, I was diminished today, so T2 was accurate. I normally am not this bad, guys. I'm really not. I'm usually with it. And today I just don't want to. I just want to sit here and cry. So sleep is probably my best option. I love talking to you guys. For what? I spend hours upon hours upon hours making videos, doing research, writing scripts, trying to come up with topics that, are relevant to me, but interesting. And I do my absolute best. And YouTube they just don't give a fuck. For now, I'll keep doing it. I'll keep coming here as long as, one person shows up. Because I won't leave y'all. You're my friends. I wouldn't do that. But I don't see the point. I really don't. It feels worse than it feels good. I love the people that I've met through YouTube. shout out to my boy, Nick Ricada. You hang in there. Looks like he had a rough weekend. A whole bunch of rumors going around out there. It's all bullshit. I talked to him briefly, very briefly, yesterday. So he checked in because he knows I worry. He knows I worry. Like, prayers are working, girl. Like, okay. As long as I know that he's okay. That's all he's got to do is just check in. But we want him to know that we're thinking about him, praying for him. If you could send up a couple prayers for him to find a little bit more peace in life, because it seems like his life is in utter chaos lately. I am not making any speculations as to why or what or whatever, because it's not anybody's business, including mine. But he is, distressed. You could see that Friday night when he was going to do his stream, and he literally did a 1-minute stream that said, I can't. That something came up and I can't. And he looked like he was going to cry. And it broke my heart because he looked like more stressed than I've ever seen him before. And I was glad that he reached out and said, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Don't worry too much. But the only good type of rumor is by Fleetwood Mac. I love that song. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so if you could just send out some healing energy to him, some helpful, peaceful prayers and everything. We just want good vibes sent his way, because he's definitely somebody who deserves it. Whether you like him or hate him or whatever, he's a good man. And he's a good friend to me. He's a very good friend to me. So I'm always going to come down on the side of Nick. Unless it's Nick versus winning, which is like, oh my God, then it would have to be a situation-based thing. But I'm going to come down on winning side. It's just, it is what it is. So it's sad, but whatever. I know my weaknesses, okay? Logic is a weakness of mine. I don't have any. And speaking of Logic, make sure you go check out Good Logic's channel. Give him a follow, give him a like, give him a sub to him, become a member of the following, whatever you want to do. But show some support for our boy, because he is working hard. He put a lot into that motion against that judge, that order against that judge that he's trying to put forth for the judge to ungag Trump. And his points were very relevant, very easy to understand. And then go over to Viva Fry and watch his breakdown, and shout out to Joe Neerman and his breakdown of Joe's thing. He was so animated about it too. It's so funny. I really recommend it. It's like 17 minutes long. You could do it in 12 if you speed it up a bit. I love to watch Viva sped up, because when he hits a rant and he's sped up, oh, it's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. And just the hair, man. Just give him a view for the hair. And again, as I close out, because I'm gonna go because I'm in pain, and I really hurt right now. Check out Winning Saturday Night. I was on that show. It was a really, really good one. Very funny. Very informative. Great chat. And last night's Sunday it's the Old School Watch Party. Winning Reality and I on his channel. That is mainly on Rumble. I mean, we start off with the YouTube kickoff, but then we finish on Rumble because we get to watch things that YouTube doesn't like. And we watch a great documentary on, the Bankers Wars, which again, I highly recommend. It was really, really good. It was probably, I'd say, in the top 3 of all the documentaries that we've watched. For the ones that I liked. And then we watched Airplane, which was fun. So, and you'll hear me just chuckling and making comments, and a bunch of comments that Winning made, just teasing me. So we had a really good time. And if you can, once again, go over to Jessica's channel and give her birthday stream a like, please. I would appreciate it. To all of you, I know I'm cutting it short and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, she only did 2.5 hours. It's just 2.5 hours of me rambling, so it's not even a good 2.5 hours. Thank you guys for showing up. I love you all. Hey, cool gamer, how are you? So if you can just check that stuff out for me and subscribe to these fine creators, especially my winning, because YouTube is really an asshole to him. I got nothing to complain about when I look at what it does to him. So if you can, I appreciate it. And I apologize for the Monday of it all, but I am very much in a Monday mood. So I'm going to go, and I thank you guys for coming. I love you. Chat is good. Chat is wise. And chat knows all. I will see you in the funny papers. Bye.
Jersey girl, I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. 4 a.m. at a diner, stop singing, living on a
And doggone it, people like me.
I'm thinking maybe you're a Jersey girl with all those highlights in your hair. No other girl can move like you. We pump our fists, damn right it's true. And I don't care what they might say, they'll never get us anyway. So be my Jersey girl, and take a little ride with me tonight. And let's get dirty, girl. I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. The way you turn it up, turn me on, and then you take it off. Make it hot, make it loud, we'll wake the whole town. Jersey girl, I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. Yeah, listen up. Let me tell you about a girl from Jersey. She was looking so fine with her hips so curvy. I wanna over down to Seaside Heights and a boardwalk fight at the end of the night. Hey, hold up, got a situation, got condensation from the girl's gyration. She's hot like the girl next door with a tig gold bitties that I can't ignore.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
I'd be a